day. Wanna shift through life instead of drive. Can't wait to wake up to a day free from this pain I hide inside. Time's free, but I always seem to pay. Gotta give time to heal right. Don't wait to give back all the pain. Too late, it's your turn to die. Walk my way. I know you run from something, but not all days are shades of gray. I say, if you piss your life away, yeah. I know you run from something, but not all days are shades of gray. Of this place, then I ate her all night to taste of might. I'll show you talent comes from a place talentless, better fucking step aside. I'm East Coast, so you know I'm fucking in my place. The pounce on sets, see pose of life. Maybe I don't belong here to stay, but truth makes up all of my lies. Walk my way. I know you run from something, but not all days are shades of gray. I say, if you piss your life away, from something, but not all days are shades of gray. Gotta walk away. Gotta walk away. Gotta walk away. Gotta walk my way. Walk my way. You gotta walk my way. Just walk my way, yeah, yeah. Walk my way. I can't stand the fakeness of this place. All you legends in your mind, backstabbing, stabbing back with my face. Soft bitch gonna see my wrath ignite. I'm East Coast, so you know I'll punch you in the face and expose your in plastic life. Why should I tone it down just to play? Cause truth makes up all of my lies. Walk my way. I know you run from something, but not all days are shades of gray. I say, if you piss your life away, yeah. I know you run from something, but not all days are shades of gray. Walk my way. You gotta walk my way. I know you run from something, but not all days are shades of gray. I say, if you piss your life away, yeah, yeah. I know you run from something, but not all days are shades of gray.
All right, there's track number 2 on today's MSI. We're going to start things out with Tom this time around. Tom, what do you think of track number 2?
Yeah, there's something going on here I kind of like. My biggest concern was the balance between the verse into the chorus. It just didn't seem to flow balance-wise. Choruses should be bigger, but this was just louder also. I like the background vocals. I love the lead performance energy in it. Drums were a little back. Bass could have been more pronounced. It has 99% of a good groove. I think they could be tighter or add some type of an alternative groove in there to really make it move. It has a lot of energy, but I felt it should swing more a little bit. And overall, a better mix and a little push on the groove, and I think they got something.
All right, Tom, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Mr. Ken Scott, your thoughts on this track?
Well, I thought it was pretty well mixed. Vocals were clear and understandable, which I like. I thought the background vocals were nice, especially in some parts. It just was really nice. I hate the vocoder sound. Always have. I thought it was okay when I heard it on the Cher song, but after that, the novelty was gone. I know it's a cool sound, and so I understand the temptation for those who have it to want to use it. I get that completely. I have lots of cool toys too, bells and whistles. But yeah, to me, it's just way overused, and I cringe every time I hear it. But yeah, I think there's some potential for commercial success here. But to me, it sounds a little bit more like an album cut. I don't know. Good energy, as Tom mentioned. Overall, I give it 1.5 thumbs up.
All right. I appreciate that, Ken. And Mr. Ian Husbands. Ian, what do you think?
Oh, I like this. This has got a really strong groove. It's, I mean, generally it's got a good mix. I did feel overall the thing that problemed me with this was that it was all, especially on the vocal was very hot, and it was all there was a lot of top range going on the EQ, and it was just a bit too sharp for my liking. It did make the vocal stick out the track probably a little bit too much. I found that the vocal a little bit too dominant. And, you know, you had a really nice bass level on the verses with the drums, and then that all sort of disappeared when everything kicked in the choruses. So I would say the track's probably been a bit over-compressed as a general whole, and the whole thing's a little too hot. I mean, love the intro, the way it was all in, and it was that, you know, very, very short time before the vocal comes in. The arrangement was strong. I disagree with Tom. I think the way the verses and the choruses played with each other was very good. I liked the way it was a bit different and not necessarily what you were expecting. I mean, to me, this had a feel of bands like Incubus about it. There's that kind of cleverness going on underneath there. But it really did lack that bass and those drums on them choruses to drive it on through. And that's my biggest problem with this. I mean, there's lots of attention to detail. I mean, I liked the subtle use of the effects. I liked the sort of ear candy that was going on with little backing vocals sort of panning left and right in places and stuff like that. I liked the ending where the sort of band stopped dead, but the vocals just carried on over with a few harmonies and backing vocals going on. And little things like on the choruses, the way the guitar riff was mirroring some of the vocal parts for half the verse, which I thought was really good.
All right. I appreciate that, Ian. Thank you. Let me take a second to introduce that track to everybody. And please, Miles, if you have anything to say about a song, say it in the chat room. We also give you a chance at the end of the show to go and be a witness to let us know what you think about the 3 tracks specifically that were played in the categorized polling we take, and we reveal that next week to you to let you know what everybody thought. That song is called Shades of Grey by Permanent Ability. Shades of Grey and Permanent Ability, we appreciate their sending that track in. All right, gentlemen, you have a tough task ahead of you, and you got to select a song of the week, so I'm going to let you do it. Let you argue it out, try to convince each other otherwise, whatever the case might be.
For me, it's no question, really. I think I'm going to go with number 2. I think it's most contemporary. It was the best overall song and probably the best produced and mixed, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with number 2.
All right. Tom? Ken?
Tom, Ken?
Tom, Ken.
Sounds
Ken
like we're a
Tom.
couple.
Yeah, I know. It's a new toy from Remco.
Tomcat? Tom Ken? No, I don't. No, he's not my
Tom
type.
Ken, the the clone Barbie doll.
Tom, you want to go first, or we could talk over each other? What do you think about that?
Well, you know, put your arm up. We're arm wrestle.
I'm
I'll go. I agree with Ian. I would have gone, if the vocal had been better, it would have been hands down number 3. But I have to go with Ian on as much as I hate it, because he always takes too long in front of me in the urinal. So,
I don't know why.
but
that's
like most of my humor, nobody knows why it's funny.
It's really funny because I'm over in the UK and he's in New York. That's a long queue.
It's a
Yeah.
long line, yeah.
Thanks for the translation. Q line.
Number 2.
All right, Ken, we'll leave it to you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Q. A lot of people here don't know that means line. But anyway, maybe it's just people from the South. So, okay, I just embarrassed myself. Well, I'm going to have to go completely against both of these guys and say that I like song number 2.
All
Wait a
right.
minute.
So that's a split decision then.
Yeah, it's kind of a split. No, and my thoughts on it were basically what these guys said. Of the 3, it was the best. Now, the last time I was on, it was really tough, and I guess I was kind of anticipating it to be the case. I liked all 3 songs the last time I was on. I can't tell you what the songs were. I don't have a good memory, but I just remember how great all 3 were. And here today, I think overall, there were a couple of them were pretty good. But yeah, I think the one that stood out the most was the middle one. That's what I'm going to call it, the middle one, because I'm the middle one in this group, in this motley crew, which would make me Mo, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Larry.
Larry? Oh, well.
No Larry Curly.
Yeah, all right. But yeah,
Well,
song
I
number
would
2.
be Mo, would I?
Yeah. Somebody's got to be Mo. All right, unanimous decision this week. Song number 2, Permanent Abilities, Shades of Grey, is our song of the week. Big congratulations to them. Want to remind you, don't leave the show if you want to see Borderline Clone again. We'll play that after the credits for you, so stick around for that. Ken, always a pleasure to have you, man. I really appreciate it every time you come on.
Well, it's always a pleasure to come on, and I always appreciate that you send me an email to remind me so that, a couple hours before the show time so that I can get up out of bed and take a shower and actually, be on the show. So thank you for that.
That was in your contract. I really appreciate it. ThatVoiceGuy.com is where you can find out more about Ken. Again, ThatVoiceGuy.com.
Yes.
I really appreciate the fact that you showered. You look just so brilliantly clean and coiffed, and you put us all to shame.
Well, it's my makeup crew. They're top notch, and I have to give them all the credit in the world. So,
And every voice guy should have a makeup crew. That's the truth.
oh, of course. Yeah.
All right. Thanks again, everybody, for being with us. We really appreciate it. We're going to play out now with Shades of Grey by Permanent Ability. Again, join us next week right here, Music Scene Investigation. It's where you're going to get all of the reviews you can use as an indie artist. That's all there is to that.